I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, the Bohana to the elder and the apostle of Great Miston. Peace, blessing, and salutation to Zaki, who pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven. It is Bezalel coming to you with this precept, man. So I have been following this news on what it is going on in the Middle East. It seems like the pride of Esau has skyrocketed, man. They don't care what is the Iranian got. They don't care what capabilities the Iranian got. They want to push forward their new world order agenda, man. And they can't bring their new world order agenda without the population, man. They need to control the numbers of people from 7 billion to 500 million. That's a lot of people to kill, man. So they need this big war. This is some nuclear war. And they who will ignite that some nuclear war is Iran. Remember Albert Pike, when he talked about Audio 3, he said Audio 3 will be fomented between Christianity defending the Israelite and the Islam. So even Saudi Arabia at the end of the time is going to side with Iran, man. Then is a famine of bread will come, man, because this dollar and the American people depend on oil to survive, man. Now the American economy is going to hyperinflation, man. Trump is just cutting rate, telling the Feds to cut rate. So very soon the famine of bread will come, man. So Albert Pike in his memo he told you this war will be fomented and the people will destroy each other, those two sides, the Christianity and the Islam, man. They will destroy each other, they will crush each other to rubbles, man. While the elite are watching on the side, man. To the extent that all morals will be destroyed, man. You see, the reason why people are going to churches to get that Esau civilized mind of state. So that Esau civilized mind of state during the war will be gone, man. So people will go back where they used to be in the ancient time, man. People were cannibal. Esau was a cannibal. So all moral standard in the society will be destroyed. There will be no rule of law. Everybody will be the law of his own, man. That's why they need this war, man. They need this war for pushing the new world order, in which the Bible tells you it will not succeed. It tells you in Job, when he about to fill his belly, he will be meet with brimstone and the fire, man. From Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The wicked will not accomplish what they are planning, man. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai knows their salt, knows their exact result, man. In Revelation, it tells you everything will be brought to naught in just 1 hour, man. America will be destroyed in 1 hour. I admit that Iran is not that powerful comparing to the harm of the world, which is America. But the Lord is a master of chess, man. When we are talking about chess is not how many kings you got or how many horses you got, man, on your back door, man. Chess is all about leeway, man. It's all about chances and leeway to strike, man. An expert in chess lay low until he got the chance. When he got the chance, he just utilized the chance to the maximum, man. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is a master of chess to speak so. Esau has lost all of his sanity, man. His pride has deceived Esau. Even the reporter, you listen to this news, even the reporter says that I don't think Iran have got that capability. He doesn't know that we are talking about the algorithm of Audio 3. The algorithm of Audio 3 does not involve only one part. The algorithm of Audio 3 involves many parts, man. When we are talking about algorithm it involves, when we talk about algorithm, let's say in mathematics, algorithm are many calculations, man, many ways we talk about computer algorithm. You want to solve, let's say, a calculus. You use computer algorithm. So your computer do all of the masses, man. The different way to solve a problem or to reach a conclusion. So our conclusion here, or is our conclusion, is what you see. So he is setting up the algorithm for war. This war will not only involve Iran, it will involve different, even it will involve even the terrorist, man, the Hezbollah, the biggest terrorist group here on yes. So Isa will be met with fire and brimstone from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So let's go to Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, those that dwell in the cleft of the rock. When you talk about the cleft of the rock, you will see here these B-52 bombers are flying from Qatar. Man. You can consider them the cleft of the rock, man, whose habitation is high. Esau is a proud devil, man. When he see his two B-52 bombers, the pride of Esau, man, those are steel bombers, invisible steel bomber which Esau has prepared for those three. For you who think those three is far, you better think twice, man. So Esau is doing the cleft of the rock. When you talk about the cleft of the rock, it is not only talking about the building, man. You simple as Negro. It is talking about everything which Esau fly high, including the B-52 bombers, man. Them weapons, man, whose habitation is high, that says in heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? When Esau flew in a rocket to the moon, what did he say? The ego has landed. The ego has landed. What does the Air Force? The Air Force, they have they are saying, it is impossible to something along that time, impossible to defeat it. They are actually telling you even Yahweh Hashem Yahushai cannot bring down the Air Force One. So they are talking about the B-52 bombers, the cleft of the rock, the highest habitation of Esau. When you're talking about the habitation is high, we are talking about the carnal mind of Esau. His intelligence and IQ. He have researched and done countless of research to where his heart is filled with proud that my B-52 bombers, my aircraft carrier, nobody can bring them down. He have done all his algorithm. I have told you, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is an adept in chess. Man. He will use his B-52 bombers or his high habitation to bring him down. Man. Because in the algorithm, when something goes wrong, you will get the wrong number. Man. So Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you have to make something long along that algorithm which will bring about what was three, and Esau will be destroyed by his own invasion. Man. Praise be to the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because he is a master of chess, man. So exalt thyself as the eagle, and so set thy nest among the stars, hence I will bring thee down, says the Lord, man. Praise be to Yahweh. So Esau is proud, man. Esau is very proudful. Esau have done countless of research where he came. They didn't came to conclusion that nobody can bring down the Air Force One. They did countless of research. But what is what they don't know is that they got their plan, and they have got his plan, man. This is Job 14:5. Seeing his day are determined, so Esau's day are numbered, man. So don't faint. Keep on pushing, man. Keep on having faith. And I pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that I have faith, man. I don't fall in this truth, man. Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is a king of terror, man. He can put you down, man. he can remove to this truth, man. Amen. You won't be believing anything in the scripture, man. The knowledge you got now, when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua decide to put a reprobate mind on you, or to to terrorize you, you'll be hearing the same script and breakdown, but you won't believe. That's how terrible Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is. I don't know what Esau is thinking, man. Seeing his day determines the number of his months with thee, though he is appointed, he is bound that he cannot pass. So that's it, man. There is an appointed time in which Esau cannot pass, man. There is an appointed time. So this is Revelation 18:10. Standing afar for the fear of atonement. Let's start here. This is Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that you be no partaker of her sin, and that you receive not her plague. Which is her plague, what was three, famine, microchip, and everything you can think about. For her sin have reached unto heaven, and God has remembered her iniquity. When you see the prophet on the highway and byway prophesies against the downfall of Babylon, man, know that her iniquity have reached into heaven, man. How do you know the iniquity of Babylon have reached into heaven? When you see the prophet on the highway and byway, man. Reward her even as he rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her work, in the cup which he has filled to her double. How much he has glorified herself and lived delicious, so much torment and sorrow give her, for he said in the heart, I sit a queen and I am no widow, and shall not see sorrow, man. America have never seen a war, serious war. Therefore shall her plague come in one day, days in the morning and famine, it shall be utterly burned with fire. So morning, days and famine, we're talking about martial law, famine of the blood, famine of the world, man. Along with that, it will come fire, man. For strong is the Lord who judges him. So strong is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua who judges Esau, man. And the king of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar of the fear of the atonement, saying, Alas, alas, the great Babylon might sit. For in 1 hour in thy judgment come, man. So in 1 hour America is going to be destroyed, and the merchant of the earth shall weep mourning of her, for no buys his merchandise anymore. So this will start. It will reach a point where the nation will not buy the merchandise of America. So this really started in the 1970s, man. When the America turned from a production country to a consumption, man. America didn't produce anything. They just consumed another people's goods, imported goods, man. From China, from Europe, and all of that, man. So let's jump down to verse. Let's jump down here. What verse is that? Verse 17. For in 1 hour so great rich is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ship and the sailor and the many as trade by the sea stood afar off, and they cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What seat is like into this great seat, man? So let's go and listen to this high tension US in the war on Iran starting analysis of the 3 days, man. So the habitation of Esau was very high. You see that the two bombers, man.
Well, there is always the likelihood if you have our forces and Iranian forces in proximity to one another, there's always the opportunity for an accidental encounter that could become incendiary.
Do you think that's more likely now, given the heightened rhetoric between the two countries?
Well, it could be. I mean, depending on where these forces are deployed, and particularly if we bolster our presence in the Strait of Hormuz, that heightens the probability for an inadvertent encounter between Iranian and U.S. forces. So just because of the numbers, the probability goes up.
U.S. sends nuclear B-52 bombers to Middle East amid credible threat from Iran. U.S. nuclear bombers have arrived in the Middle East amid a credible threat from Iran. Tensions are simmering in the region amid the ongoing failing relations between Washington and Tehran. U.S. defense chiefs have outright accused Iran of plotting attacks on their forces in Iraq. B-52 Fortresses bombers have now landed at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Iran has issued explosive threats to the U.S., warning President Donald Trump his fleet will face dozens of missiles if it attempts any move in the Gulf region. After Iran made the stunning warning, top U.S. officials said there was an increasing possibility that Iran or one of the groups it sponsors could launch attacks against its navy.
As you know, Joe, we've had carrier strike group in the Gulf for decades. I commanded the Enterprise Carrier Strike Group some years ago. These are massive machines of war. They carry 70 combat aircraft. They come with cruisers, missiles. Right. But it's pretty common to have one in there. What is different is coupling this speed-up deployment with the rhetoric. It is a significant escalation in that sense. We ought to be concerned about rising tension in the Arabian Gulf.
So, Admiral, do you see it as a credible threat that the Iranians would attack any U.S. forces?
I think it's very unlikely that there would be an overt attack against U.S. forces. Possibility of a terrorist strike, something under the radar, that's a possibility. Overt, very, very unlikely.
World War III alert. Iran sends stark warning to Trump. We will hit you in the head. Iran has warned if the U.S. makes a military move against the Middle Eastern nation, it will hit them in the head as tensions between the two powers continue to rise. Amir Ali Hajizadeh, head of Iran's Revolutionary Guards Aerospace Division, boasted to the Iranian Students News Agency, an aircraft carrier that has at least 40 to 50 planes on it and 6,000 forces gathered within it was a serious threat for us in the past, but now the threats have switched to opportunities. If the Americans make a move, we will hit them in the head. His words come shortly after an Iranian leader warned U.S. President Donald Trump the U.S. fleet dispatched to the Persian Gulf will face dozens of missiles if it attempts any move, raising the prospect of a direct, explosive military confrontation.
Iran is reacting to the sanctions, and I think there's clearly some good intelligence. I think that's why Secretary Pompeo stopped off in Iraq. So what they're seeing is increased indications and warning of possible threats to our forces there. We have planes flying out of several bases, 5,000 forces in Iraq, U.S. Navy forces there. But the problem with Iran is you've got to send a really bold message. It's got to be all caps, and it has to say, don't try it. That's why we see this.
From one of the leaders there, an Ayatollah, their billion-dollar fleet, meaning us, can be destroyed with one missile. If they attempt any move, they will face dozens of missiles because at that time, officials won't be in charge to act cautiously. But instead, things will be in the hands of our beloved leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. In other words, they're saying they think they can destroy our warship with one missile. Talk about talking a good game. Is that even at all in any realm of reality in the universe plausible at all?
Typical rhetoric for them, and I would say no, they don't have that capability.
World War III alert. Iran issues stark warning to the U.S. Armed forces fully ready. Iran is prepared for any eventuality, warned Iranian ambassador to the UK Hamid Badinjad, amid escalating tensions between Washington and Tehran. Iran's ambassador to the UK has issued a stark warning on the prospect of conflict in the Middle East. Hamid Badinjad declared Iran is fully ready for any eventuality and U.S. forces should not try to test the determination of the region. However, the Iranian ambassador added part of the conflict is theatrical maneuvers by the U.S., and President Donald Trump does not want to engage in military confrontation with Iran. Mr. Biddenjad told Sky News, "I think part of this is theatrical maneuvers by the U.S. administration."
I think part of this is within the theatrical maneuvers by the U.S. administration. Our analysis is that at least the President Trump doesn't want to engage into a military confrontation with Iran because he knows that how much it would be costly for the United States and for the region. But while we have renounced any military escalation in the region, I would assure you that Iranian government and Iranian armed forces are fully ready for any eventuality in the region. So they should not really try to test the determination of Iran to confront any, in fact, escalation in the region.
It sounds like they're preparing for the possibility of conflict.
They are preparing. As I said, some of these can be seen as theatrical maneuvers. But we are also prepared for any event.
Iran is a powerful, strong country with a powerful military. It has the means, and above all, it has the will to fight you if you attack it. Please believe me on that, President Trump. I know what I'm talking about. And I told your predecessor, George W. Bush, not to do it in Iraq, and look how that turned out. But it will be much, much, much worse for you than it was for George W. Bush, because Iran is far more capable and willing of fighting back against you. And Iran has a religious echo around the world.
You see, that
And
goes
you will
back
not
to
just
the
be
moral
fighting in the
dogma,
Straits of Hormuz, believe
the
me.
Albert
You'll be
Pike memo
fighting Iran
about what
everywhere.
they say it will be between Christianity and Islam. Man. So the network here in Africa, it is very awesome, man. I'm just using 3G to 2G, man. That's why even uploading video it is very difficult. Also, just a small video and it is loading like hell, man. Fuck this system, man.
Has a religious echo around the world. And you will not just be fighting in the Straits of Hormuz, believe me. You'll be fighting Iran everywhere.
So he's just telling me the Iranian are everywhere, man. This network is fucking. So let me see if I can close this lesson. So let me close this lesson. The internet is fucking, man. I think it is in 2G now. The world is going to 5G, but here in Africa, we are in 2G and 3G. Not even H+. So let me close the lesson. I hope the lesson was edifying enough. Until next time.